immediately, and that's obvious. But it's also like the amount of realization, the amount of different angles I can understand God from, the amount of different understandings, the accumulation of knowledge that I have on just like men playing baseball. You know what I mean? Just like the amount of different angles I can metaphysically view that from now at once. At once, a tetrahedron, a fucking six-dimensional cube of angles of these men playing baseball. You know what I mean? It's baffling.
Just even walking down the hall, like just hundreds and hundreds of people, it's just like bumping shoulders with people, and it's just
You said you have a classic concept called like hallway time. And I never really actually felt like I was looking down a hallway until recently when I started getting these religious seizures. I've been getting something happening literally like a physical reaction in my eyeballs where my eyes have started doing something very strange where it feels like they're like either swelling out of my head or like I don't know. I'm I'm looking at things
fascinating.
that does not sound good. You're like, ooh, eyeballs swelling out of the head. But
That's like real sheen down the eyes now.
yeah, but literally, but well, it's interesting because it feels like looking down a hallway. That's immediately what I was reminded of as soon as it started happening to me. It was like, it's so like I don't know. It's like when my phone went in 0.5 angle, it like created FOV. Like that feels like it's what's happening with my eyeball. Like they're being squeezed or like they're looking from like a different angle. It's like an actual like visible perceptual change. Um, and it's cool because it's a distinct visual, but it is also kind of painful, and it can lead to my eyes just getting strained, just like they used to when I used to rub my eyes. You know what I mean? It's very similar to that, where it's like enough of it creates eye
I
strain.
definitely think, yeah, the most intense things I have were definitely related to my eyes, and definitely I would say FOV being a good descriptor of what changes.
But so genuinely, if we and I was talking to my mother about this, if we fucking get either one of our heads in a fucking MRI while we're having a religious seizure, we win. We win instantly, instantaneous victory. There's no denying it. After that, it's literally it just comes down to then the question from the outside world. The rest of the proof that they would need would be, okay, now you need to prove that this neurochemical experience, which you're clearly having because it clearly shows up on an MRI. So this thing that you're having, can you prove that it's beneficial? And then it comes down to, oh, like yes, of course we can. Apply it to literally anything. Look, study anyone's brain who's doing this, and I bet you they will be 10 times more efficient at whatever the fuck they want to do. Anything. Any singular thing they want to do on the planet, guess what? They'll be 10 times better instantly now that they can run this framework, or in other words, run this neurochemical thing in their brain. And it's like, that's all we need. All we need is to get our head in a little fucking scanner and then to see the visible imprint of what this looks like in reality. And it's like, then we win. It's over. It's game fucking over. Victory.
But what would the average person do with that knowledge of like, all right, their brain scan is different when they're thinking a different way? Like, what are they going to do with that?
Well, I mean, okay, so first of all, this is already something which is like talked about in the scientific community and talked about with like self-help communities about like this was something which made Buddhism more mainstream was whenever they managed to study the Buddhist head and see like, oh, okay, there's actual neurochemical factors here. They're actually altering the way the brain works, and they're capable of doing inhuman things. They're capable of like slowing down their heart rate, and they're capable of like staying without food for longer and going into like medically induced comas like just by themselves and then reemerging 7 days later. Like they're capable of doing strange things. That's one of the reasons Buddhism is very popular is because like it basically it's a scientific benchmark, and essentially
I don't think it was Buddhism. I think it was some um, Hindu thing or something. But remember, there was that guy who, like, I don't know, buried himself or something, and like they saw his heart stopped for like a week or so, and then he came
yeah,
back and he was
they've
alive.
been there's been a bunch of monks who do crazy shit. I mean, even just things as simple as like there's another example. One of the things which is another thing which has gained Buddhism massive respect are the images of the monks self-immolating and just not flinching.
Yeah.
Like people love that shit for obvious reasons because like I couldn't fucking do that. How is he doing that? Obviously he knows something
Or
about
have
it.
you seen the people like who mummified themselves? So they
I have
lived
not.
through their mummification, so their
How?
body is kind of still intact, and it's kind of like so their body is still alive after death almost. Um,
That is that is horrific.
yeah, they meditate while mummifying themselves. What an experience to go through.
Yeah, you betcha. Yeah, I'm sure that's a real pretty one from God's perspective, not from mine.
Yeah,
You're looking at a different framework, but. But
Yeah, I've got my yeah.
but so basically, like that's the thing. Is it's like so at that point, and here's the reason why Buddhism didn't immediately kick off afterwards after that realization, because it's like here's the thing. Buddhism never even tried. First of all, they never even tried to sell it as okay, what we have right here is we have oh, a literal. This is the next evolution for mankind. We're going to be able to alter our own neurochemical effects using mental strategies to make ourselves better human beings. First of all, they never even went for the angle. They never even went for the Ubermensch angle, which was stupid on their part. And on top of it, they got a bunch of religious dogma that they're going to try to shove down your throat, even if they did do that. That's where we come in. We have neither of those things, and we're going to come in selling it hard. We're going to be winning UFC fights, knocking people out, and then afterwards saying, if only this bitch could fucking meditate. If only he knew my framework, maybe then he would have stood a goddamn chance. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be better call selling it out there. You know what I mean? Absolutely fucking.
Yeah, like I truly don't understand. Like even like if any given field of any religion, any philosophy of any field of anything, like I don't see anyone in the Western society selling it to the people in the way that they obviously would be receptive
I
to it.
know they
And
sell it as a good for them. You know what I mean? Just
yeah,
purely, just a materialistic good, and then sell them spirituality. And little do they know, they're killing their own ego, and they did it for practicality, as they fucking should have.
yeah, like I don't know, like the closest person I could think of is kind of like Leo Gira or Bernardo Castro, but like they're not like they're not doing the full thing, you know. They're not
Yeah,
like fully jumping in, and
and
you're
even
like
then, they are
they're not
shit
going with the
compared to what they're
philosophy
putting
of how
out.
to live your life,
Yeah.
which is obviously the thing people want to hear, and people are
Dude,
desperate
no,
to
no one
to
has done
need.
anything even close. The closest person to do anything even similar to us was Nietzsche, and of course Nietzsche was shit at conveying it to the normal person. Shit, complete shit at doing that. Great at conveying it to people like us, but it just doesn't matter in the real world. You know what I mean? And what we're gonna do
Hmm.
and genuinely, that is one of the things I look at myself as doing. Is it's like not only am I taking my own philosophy, I'm going to shove it into the masses and take it to new heights. Also, I'm going to be boosting Nietzsche because mine is like the more I read Nietzsche, the more I understand that this guy killed it. He was like he like even without metaphysics, he got almost every single thing right. Like the Ubermensch is the goal of my metaphysics. Like it is the inevitable place where it's leading. It is the reason why I pursue it in the first place, is to make mankind. And he is so right. Like the thing which is beautiful about man is the fact that they are a bridge to something greater. Such a fucking great quote. And it's like that is what's beautiful about man. What's beautiful about man isn't about what we are now. It's about what our constant state of becoming, our growing, our becoming something greater every day. And it's like that. That is
You know,
what
when our
sells
consciousness
metaphysics.
evolves to what its full potential is, then it'll be truly something beautiful.
And it's like if you just sold that to people as just, hey, here's a way to be a better person. You want to be better at your job? You want to be better at MMA? Would you like to be better at producing music? You want to be better at writing poetry? You want to be better at talking to your wife? You want to be better at not being depressed? Would you like to just be a better fucking human being in literally any capacity you could possibly ever fucking dream of? And would you like to just be a massively more happier person? It's just a bonus. It's just a side bonus. It's not even what you're looking for. But guess what? I'll throw that in for free. You know what I mean? It's like it's just you can't argue with it. If anyone just sold it, if there was anyone out there who got it, who was fucking selling it, it's baffling. I mean, like if there was ever a market with a niche in it that needs to be filled, it's us right now.
Hmm. I keep waiting for like a bus to hit me or something. It's like I'm so surprised that like is it really me? Like is it up to me to do this? It really
Oh,
feels like of all the movies and comic books I've read throughout my life, it's like I'm like those guys. Like really? Is it really like now I've got to go save the world?
yeah. I mean, and it is. There is something very interesting about philosophers having the most like if you research people throughout time who had the most cinematic lives, the lives that most resembled just a fucking movie, it's always philosophers. It's always us. And I was like, I wonder why that is. I mean, I guess it really comes down to just God likes philosophers and God likes their story to be pretty. I mean, it's the only way I can think of
Well,
it.
to be that kind of person, you have to get into all sorts of shenanigans and
Yeah,
interesting events for to shape your beliefs, and because of your beliefs are shaped that way, you are more inclined to do those kind of things, and thus you live a very very interesting life.
yeah.
And most people who would probably live through the exact same events would probably feel a lot more hateful or more mundane about them, or just in general not as exciting or adventurous as
But like,
a base person
but
would
like
see.
Nietzsche and Young, it's like just look at those two guys alone. It's like each one of them, literally, if you tried to adapt their story into a movie, you know what I mean? It wouldn't even seem real. Like you couldn't do it justice. You couldn't do it justice to make it realistic because that's how insane their lives were. Like Carl Jung, like a golden beetle flying into his office to justify synchronicity. He tells a rock climber, "Hey, don't climb the rock." Just a week later, the rock climber's dead. He predicts a
I
fucking
know that
World War One.
there was a movie that depicted Carl Jung, and they depicted one of the synchronicities, which was him talking to Freud and him predicting that the shelf would shake and something would collapse. As far as him saying that I believe that this stuff is real, and Freud saying that's nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, it is just things like that, and like I said, just fucking predicting World War One. You know what I mean? Just shit like that, and then you look at Nietzsche, also you going insane and writing a book about it, and then coming back on the other side as a psychologist. Like literally, I couldn't write a cooler book, fucking plot. You know what I mean? Like, it's so cool.
Well,
I mean, good.
he didn't come back as a psychologist, did he?
What is it? He didn't. What is a psychologist?
He wasn't a psychologist, was he?
I mean, he worked with
Oh, you're saying
souls.
Carl Jung, or you're saying
Yeah.
Nietzsche?
No, I'm talking about Carl Jung. Carl Jung wrote the
Right.
fucking book. That was his
Yeah,
insanity into a book. And then Nietzsche,
yeah. I thought you were talking about Nietzsche.
no. And then Nietzsche fucking didn't he like serve in one of the world wars or she served in some battle, some fucking German war, and then he got injured. Like he was like a cavalier. He rode horses and battled on horses. Then he got too injured. Then he fell horribly ill. And then was horribly ill for his entire life. You know what I mean? He wrote his insane metaphysical treatise. Literally went insane, like actually off the rails for the rest of his life. Insane. Had Hitler dining in his fucking kitchen while he was banging on the walls. Like I mean, what? Like what? What? Like that shit is so insane. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like the man also it's so cinematic the way how like the man and also I don't know if you know that like Nietzsche with his big iconic mustache, Nietzsche's big one iconic mustache, like that shot which people always draw on as and what I think of Nietzsche as that was only after he went insane. So it's like the iconic Nietzsche look that's post insanity, post Hitler in the dining room Nietzsche. Which is just also like cool. Like it sucks for him, but it's also just like badass. The fact he has like a skin, you know what I mean? Post insanity Nietzsche skin, and it looks cooler than his regular one. And then
Well,
also like good.
I see images of him, and I see like he's had a mustache at different ages
You don't know.
and
He
sizes,
always
but him at his
he
largest.
yes, that's what I'm saying. He always had his mustache. It's just that like the iconic, like fucking ridiculous, massive mustache, which looks like I mean it's just
Yeah.
huge. It's like a tremendously. It's just a
Yeah, looks like
cinematic
a
ass mustache.
walrus.
Yeah, I mean, what he looks like is a fucking movie character. You know what I mean? He looks like he's wearing fucking
Yeah.
prosthetics. Like people don't even usually look like that. He looks so cool. And then on top of that, the way he went insane was he's a man who's never like his whole thing was being beyond morals, beyond sympathy. And then he watches a horse get beat, which is something common back then, and that's what makes him go insane was like the sympathy for the horse. Like it's such a poetic ending to Nietzsche. You know what I mean? Like him
Hmm.
finally like, giving into empathy when his whole philosophy is about the exact opposite about the will to power. Like something so fucking beautiful about that. Like just the whole thing, his whole life was just like a beautiful dance. The way it was cruel, so cruel, but also beautiful. The way he never got famous until after he died. Like just everything like that. Like so it's always cruel. Like philosophers' lives are never very good. It seems like, which is great omens for us. But they're always like
Yeah,
tragic.
it's a bunch of stress and strife which builds the minds of the
Yeah,
people to be capable of holding such thoughts in the first place.
yeah. Being vessels for the tide. Jesus. And genuinely, that is something which I feel a lot lately. Is it's like whenever I'm looking on Instagram, whenever I'm looking in these places, I'm live time seeing meme pages, philosopher meme pages, live time fucking convert to non-dualism. And it's like, first of all, what the fuck is that? And second, it's like, the reason what I think it is because I'm seeing it everywhere. As I'm seeing everywhere, this philosophy. I'm seeing people like Bernardo Castro say it, even if he doesn't really get what he means. I'm seeing everywhere. I'm seeing people have this one sentiment, which is that philosophy needs the next step of philosophy is going to be feeling it. The next step of philosophy is going to be embodying it. Is going to be constantly feeling and living in your philosophy. Like that's what I mean. I've seen tons of people say it. One of the front runners is Deleuze and Thimbo. That guy is always fucking on top of the pulse. But I'm seeing it in a lot more places than just him. I'm seeing a lot of different ways of saying it. I'm seeing a lot of different people say it, and they're all approaching the same thing, and they don't know it. And it's like what I'm realizing is the same thing Nietzsche and the same thing Jung said. It's like it's not that they're special. It's that they are the vessel for the massive tide which is swelling. It is going to burst anyway, so by someone. And we just happen to be there at the right time. We just happen to catch the wave. You know what I mean? Now let's fucking surf,
Hmm.
son. Yeah. All right, I gotta stop this.